My dad made me compete against my siblings for food every night. The winner ate, the losers starved. Every evening at 6 p.m. sharp, my father would ring a brass bell and announce tonight's competition. Sometimes it was math problems. Sometimes it was physical challenges in the backyard. Sometimes it was trivia about topics we'd never studied. My two younger sisters and I would line up in the kitchen while Dad set out 3 plates of food, 1 full meal, 1 half portion, and 1 empty plate with just a glass of water. First place ate everything. Second place got scraps. Third place got nothing until breakfast. Dad called it his excellence training program and said he was preparing us for the real world where only winners survive. I was 8 years old when the competition started. My sisters were 6 and 4. Dad had lost his corporate job and something inside him snapped. He became obsessed with the idea that he'd raised soft children who would fail at life like he did. So he decided to toughen us up the only way he knew how, through hunger. The competitions got worse every month. Dad started adding punishments for the loser beyond just missing dinner. Third place had to sleep on the floor. Third place couldn't speak for 24 hours. Third place had to watch the winner eat slowly while describing how delicious every bite tasted. I won most nights because I was oldest, but watching my little sisters cry from hunger destroyed something inside me. My youngest sister B would shake so hard during competitions that she couldn't think straight, which guaranteed she'd lose. Dad called her weak. He said she needed more motivation. When Mom tried to sneak food to the losers at night, Dad installed cameras in the kitchen. He caught her giving B crackers at midnight and took her car keys for a month. "You're undermining everything I'm building," he screamed at her. "These children will thank me someday when they're CEOs and senators." Mom stopped trying to help after that. She just sat at the dinner table with dead eyes while her children fought for food. I started letting my sisters win on purpose. I'd pretend to forget answers or trip during physical challenges. Dad noticed within a week. He pulled me aside and said if I ever threw another competition, he'd make the punishment 3 times worse for whoever came in last. To prove his point, he made the next night's loser sleep outside in December. That was the night my sister Iris got sick. She developed a fever from sleeping in the cold and couldn't compete for 3 days. Dad said she still had to participate or she'd automatically get 3rd place every night until she recovered. She competed with a 102-degree fever, shaking and delirious, and still came in last. Dad made her sleep outside again. Mom finally called Grandma for help, but Dad intercepted the call and told Grandma that Mom was having mental health issues and making up stories. Grandma believed him because Dad was always the charming one, the golden child who could do no wrong. Then Dad invented something he called the ultimate championship. Once a month, all the daily results would be tallied, and the child with the worst overall record would face a special punishment. The first ultimate championship loser was B. Her punishment was eating dinner alone in the basement for an entire week while rats scratched behind the walls. She was 5 years old. She screamed every night, but Dad said fear was just weakness leaving the body. I tried to go to the basement with her, but Dad locked the door and said I was enabling her failure. The second ultimate championship loser was Iris. Her punishment was having every toy she owned donated to charity while she watched. She cried for hours, and Dad filmed it. He said he wanted to show her the video when she was successful someday, so she'd remember what sacrifice looked like. I realized then that Dad wasn't trying to make us stronger. He was just enjoying having complete control over us. My school started a free lunch program that year, and for the first time, I had guaranteed food that Dad couldn't take away. I started hiding granola bars in my backpack and sneaking them to my sisters at night, timing it perfectly between camera angles. But the real change came when my teacher noticed how thin we'd gotten. She asked why I was shoving extra milk cartons into my bag, and I broke down crying in front of the entire cafeteria. I told her everything about the competitions, the punishments, the basement, the cameras. She called Child Protective Services that afternoon. When the social worker showed up at our house, Dad put on his perfect father act. He called the competitions educational games with incentivized rewards and showed off our clean bedrooms and organized homework folders. The social worker seemed convinced until B whispered something to her while Dad wasn't looking. She said she'd eaten 8 dinners in the past month. She was supposed to have eaten 30. The social worker's face changed completely. 3 days later, we were removed from the home. Dad tried to fight it in court, but my sisters and I all testified about what happened. The judge called his system methodical child abuse disguised as parenting philosophy and terminated his parental rights. Mom got full custody and moved us across the state.